And this is probably the biggest attendance we've had at any of them. So this is really exciting.
Yep.
My name is Jeff Fairchild, and I'm a principal at the firm, and we love to sponsor these things and put them on. Thank you that you could all attend. Igor and Mark are two of my directors who are going to be putting it on, talking about Qlik and AI and what is the capabilities. So they're going to show you lots of stuff today. Make it interactive talk. We enjoy answering the questions. We've got IPC here. We've got several people beyond myself and these two. We've got Gus over here. Many of you from Harvard. I'm sorry you work with them too much. And then we've got some Qlik individuals in the back too that we can go through and talk about any of your problems. So you don't have to talk to us. You can talk with them. Go forth and again ask questions. There's some food in the back, so just whenever. Igor, is that the plan?
Yep.
Whenever you feel like there's drinks and there's various food back there, please just get up and enjoy. But thank you for all for coming.
We did great.
That's the fun one for me.
Okay.
I'm fine.
All right. This. So thank you everyone, and special thanks for Harvard, especially Grace and Miki to hosting us and helping us put this together. So we're doing like a touring, like doing this, talking about Qlik and AI. So as Jeff said, we're the presenters today, and they said we're not supposed to sell. It's not sell. It's free. We both have a blog. We post like stuff about Qlik and not only Qlik. So if you want to take a look, datavoyagers.net. We've been posting a lot of things recently. There's a YouTube channel, but as well, same name, but you can find everything in the blog. To begin, let's talk about AI. I mean, we all know about what is AI. AI, there's a lot of excitement about AI, but also a lot of confusion. Some people think AI is this great thing that is capable of doing everything and will replace us. Not really, not yet. Or some other people think it's this evil force that will destroy the world. So I like to start talking about what is not AI. Also, a lot of things people sell, this is AI, but it's just regular programming. Most of AI things people sell is just regular programming. They just say it's AI because it helps sell. Actually, there is a famous sales job interview question. People ask, oh, sell me this pen. Now it's easy. I can say, oh, it has AI. Then people will buy it. Yeah. So if you have to program the rules or the logic, of course, is not AI. So things like automation script. It looks like very smart, but it's just automation script. Someone has to program the steps or the rules. Also, it's not Agent Smith. It's not this evil force. Not yet, at least. So AI, it's basically a software that will perform a task that was not programmed to do that. It will find the rules, it will find the best strategy to accomplish something. It could be something supervised, like machine learning, most of machine learning, and you provide historical data, a target, you will learn the rules within the data to predict the target, or it could be something like autonomous cars, for example, will react to an environment. Those are types of AI. Actually, talking about types of AI, these are the most common. So people talk about Gen AIs, very popular now, predictive, prescriptive, adaptive, interactive, vision. And some of these will actually describe not only just AI, but analytics in general. Some of the things are AI, some of the things are not AI, and we'll make this distinction. So I don't want to spend too much time on the definition. Actually, that's it. Now let's see how Qlik uses AI in the platform. So there's this brand, I can say, called Qlik StAIge. At first, people had a lot of questions. What actually is that a product called StAIge? No, it's just an umbrella that has all of these AI capabilities of Qlik. So when you hear about Qlik StAIge, it's basically that. You know, some integrations we do using automation, some like machine learning in interface with other technologies. Like what we see here is an Alexa that is connected to our Qlik cloud. I cannot say Alexa, then she will. Yeah. wait for me to say something. And well, right now it's just showing some charts, but then we'll have a little break. After the break, I'll show how we can ask questions, and she'll go to my Qlik, and then answer the questions with charts, etc. So there's another AI capabilities we can do. And we can use that to, you can ask questions directly from your teams. We're working on a prototype now. You can use WhatsApp to do kind of the same. We have narrative, a lot of language, natural language processing. So all of that is what they call StAIge. Now, let's break it down into different pieces. This is how we organize all these initiatives. So it's nothing Qlik official. But we like to organize this like in 3 categories. There are some AI capabilities of Qlik that are native in the platform. Some are integrated, meaning it's not in Qlik, but Qlik can leverage those. And some are embedded, other tools that are part of the platform. Like, there's a lot of things that are AI-enabled in the Qlik platform that people don't think they are AI. Like, this is Qlik Sense. So Qlik View do not have that. I wish it had. It does not. So this is Qlik Sense, either cloud or premise. So for example, there's a way I can bring tables and associate the tables in Qlik Sense without writing a script. So it's drag and drop, and then they have like an AI that will find the field with the highest probability of being the link field between different tables. And it's not based on the name of the field like we're all familiar. It's based on the actual values within the field. And it finds that. I prefer like writing the script when I'm doing something, but for data discovery, a lot of times let me see it. If I'm not sure, let me see what that table association or the data manager tells me. Oh, interesting. Let me see if that makes sense. And then I'll perform my tasks going forward. Data profiling is part of the same capability. So you'll find a field and identify if it is it has geographic information, or if it is a date, will automatically create like year, month, create kind of a calendar. So there's a lot of data profiling. They included key drivers. It's something I don't think we'll have time to show today, but it's in the UI of any Qlik application. And basically, you select one measure, 3 or 4 dimensions, and then we'll give you insights about it. We'll write text, build charts based on that.
Is it Qlik Cloud only, right? The key drivers?
Key drivers, it's Qlik Cloud only, yes. And the associative insights, when you were in the Qlik interface, there was one button there for selection tool, so you can select different fields. If selecting a field, there's a button called associative insights, and it'll give you insights about the data you selected. So that's native. You don't think it is like as an AI. It is AI, and it's in the tool. It's part of Qlik, all Qlik Sense, the Qlik application. Then we have integrated. Let's say you have a data robot model you deploy, and you want to use it in Qlik. Or you have an AWS Bedrock connected to, I don't know, Llama, or connected to Claude, and all of these fancy, or even the OpenAI, like GPT. So you can connect to those and use them inside a Qlik app. Actually, I'm going to show that real quickly in the demo piece. Hugging Face, I use it a lot for translation. Sentiment analysis is pretty good. OpenAI, other LLMs, so you can integrate. It's actually pretty simple. And then we have other tools, part of the Qlik platform. So they're not Qlik Sense, they're other tools, but they're all integrated. And this is what we're focusing on today, because to show all will require like way more than a couple of hours. So Qlik AutoML. We're not showing the actual machine learning, like how create the model. We're showing just the consumption, the other part. We did like a previous meetup online where we show that other part you create. So if you go to the meetup website, you see past events, you see the recording if you're interested. And we're planning to do more. Next release of Qlik AutoML, they are releasing a lot of new interesting functionalities that we tested in advance. Once they release it, we'll probably do another one. Inside Advisor, Mark Costa will show inside the device, and will show it's basically you can talk to Qlik and you answer you. In the app, outside the app, or outside the whole platform like Alexa's that will also show. And Qlik Answers, like the Qlik ChatGPT that everybody now is talking about. So those are the three we'll demo, among other small things later. Just a quick pause here. Again, drinks, foods, help yourself. Don't wait on break or anything. Now let's analyze, let's discuss these three pieces in more detail. Qlik AutoML, I'm not sure if you had the chance to play with Qlik AutoML. It's very similar to other automatic machine learning tools, like AWS SageMaker, like Data Robot. Very similar. It was before another product called Big Squid. Actually, I love that name. So Qlik acquired the company, integrated it into the platform. And it basically has two pieces. One is the experimentation. So you can create your modules, train your modules, analyze what you see in the modules as many times as you wish. There's no charge for that. Even the basic license comes with that, which is actually great. We have projects that we require us to do a lot of experimentation until we find the correct data set. And it was a healthcare solution for trying to predict the outcome for asthma patients. And we have 300 something columns, and we have to do a lot of experimentation in order to accomplish that. And they want to do in AWS. After 2 weeks, they said, no, we cannot, because the experimentation, because they charge by computing, it was crazy. 2 weeks of experimentation, I think was something like $10,000.
I remember that one.
Yeah, so then we did in AutoML. So experimentation is in the tool. There's no extra cost.
Unlimited.
Unlimited, yes, unlimited. As many users as you like. Of course, you grant the access to the user you wanted to use it, but no limit. Does it replace the data scientist? No, I want to have my job. It does not. It replaced the programmers. Sorry, programmers. Actually, but then you can do other fun stuff. Because it runs Python scikit-learn on the back end. So instead of writing all the code, it does that for you. And there's a lot of things when you do in machine learning. It's not just the training the module. You have to prepare the data. You have what I do with no values. Imputation of no values, encoding categorical variables, and cross-validation, all of that it does automatically. And also it tests different algorithms. Like for classification, for example, it has 8 different algorithms and tests each one, measure the accuracy, and then it recommends a module. This is the best module. And then you compare the modules, all of the metrics. Not only that, it also gives you why it made the prediction. It gives you what are the main features, what are the main columns. We predicted this because of these different columns, which I believe it's a greater benefit than the prediction. Because if you're just making a prediction and that's all you have, it's kind of useless. If I'm predicting that the patient will die, and I don't know why, I just call the families, in a month, it's gonna die, sorry. So no, we wanna avoid that. So I need explanation why, so then I can act on it. So it gives us that. So it's pretty interesting. We're using that in implementation, we do now a lot of medical research and publishing papers, and we're using AutoML for the machine learning effort. It works pretty good. So that's one part, the experimentation. Once you're happy with the model, and then you want to use in production, then you deploy. The deployment is not unlimited. There's a reason. This is only in Qlik Cloud, and Qlik Cloud runs on top of AWS. To actually run a module requires a lot of GPU, memory, a lot of resource that Qlik pays. So every license, the basic ones, it comes with 2 active production deployments, and then if you need more, then you can order more. But only the one active. If there's one deployment, oh, I'm not happy with that. I think I'm going to do another deployment, another module. You can basically deactivate it, and you get that license back. The good thing about deployment is that you can use in a lot of different places. Actually, in our blog, another reason for you guys to check out, we have a few videos that I show. I'm using that in the Qlik platform. Outside of Qlik, I have a video where I consume in a Python code, and I just send data to Qlik AutoML and then get a prediction back. You can use it and do real-time prediction. You change your data and you get real-time prediction, and actually that's part of our demo today. Or you can just integrate it as just another connection in your Qlik script. You pass your resident table, get the predictions, and then you get the prediction back, plus the explanation, which is, I still think, the greatest benefit.
That works with automation, right?
Automation as well. You want to do like an automation workflow where when I run the prediction, when this happens, it also works. So you can access from multiple places. So that's the first piece, the Qlik AutoML, machine learning. Now, let's talk about language. Actually, this is a concept that we both working recently is, instead of, not all users, they will go to a Qlik platform and they will open a Qlik application. So our idea is Qlik goes to those people. So the Alexa skills and other initiatives that we're doing, it's actually on that effort. And we call this language-centric analytics. Basically, your starting point for analytics is not a dashboard, it's language. You can talk, you can go to a glossary and find definition of household. I remember there was an interesting one here. And then, let me see, all of the apps that talks about household with a definition, then I can go from there using language as the starting point. So, Qlik has this tool called Insight Advisor. It's embedded, unlimited in the Qlik sense. It works on-prem or cloud, but it's Qlik sense. And it's capable of natural language processing and natural language generation. So the natural language piece is where you can ask questions to Insight Advisor, and then you get answers back in form of text and charts. You can use text, voice, it's multi-language. You can enhance the vocabulary. Mark will show that. So there's particular terms that mean something, so you can actually teach Insight Advisor that, which is pretty interesting. And you can also include something called business logic, like hierarchy, how this works. When I mention this is the logic behind it. When I say current year, that's what I mean. It's fiscal years, not calendar year. So you can also include business logic, and it learns from that, and it uses that knowledge. Insight Advisor also is capable of generating charts. So when you ask a question, it will reply you also in terms of charts. As a developer, sometimes it's Friday, 4 p.m. You're tired. I just want to have a drink, and you have to finish this sheet, this dashboard. Sometimes I'll go there, ask my questions, and see what Insight Advisor suggests me in terms of visualizations. And you can, from Insight Advisor, include in your application. Actually, we're discussing, if you're an end user, you can only use Insight Advisor and never open a single dashboard. Because you ask a question, you show the charts, and then that's it. And the chart that you generate could be based on dimension or measures, which is those three options down there is the first one. So you select one measure. Let's see if I remember, that was a long time ago. Maybe fundraising amount, maybe. And then you select by school. And then you generate, these are the options of charts. Or you can just ask a question. And then you show the different options. Or you can go the other way, and based on the analysis type, let me do a mutual information, or clustering, or this or that. And then it will tell you, oh, you need to pick 2 measures, 1 dimension. And then you pick it, and it will create the charts for you. So they will have 3 different options. And it learns from your feedback. Sometimes it gives you a charge saying, yeah, I don't like it. So you give like a thumbs down and then remember, and next time we'll do something different. It's pretty cool, pretty cool. And they have a pretty good API. So then you can access using APIs like the Alexa that we show later, but also like other apps inside the Qlik app or outside of Qlik app in the hub where you don't know what app something is. As long as it's enabled because of the security, it's just one checkbox. So then people can access from outside, it will do it. And it respects section access, it respects all security that Qlik has. So it doesn't override any security. So that's the second of those three pieces, the Inside Advisor. So we talked about Qlik AutoML, Inside Advisor. Then there's the other one that I said is the Qlik's ChatGPT-ish. But before I'm talking about that, from presenting this, like many times, we realize we need to explain a little bit of some concepts before we actually talk about what is Qlik Answer. The first is what is structured and what is unstructured data. So basically, structured data is everything that you think about when you think about data. Tables, database, JSON files, Excel, this is structured data. Anything that it requires a structure.
Tables and columns.
Tables and columns, also hierarchical, yeah. So if it is in tabular format, it's structured data, or hierarchical format is structured data, or rows and columns, that kind of stuff. Unstructured are things like emails, social media, PDF documents, Word documents, HTML pages, videos, audios, all of that is what we call unstructured. Until recently, people never thought of that as data. It's just text. But there is data, there's information, there's knowledge. We prefer talking about knowledge. There's knowledge there. And there's a study from, I forgot the source, sorry, that says 80% of organizations, 80% of the knowledge of data of organizations are in files. Like things like policies or procedures or a lot of knowledge, it is in files. And if you want to get that information, like find that information, then you need to search for specific keywords. And if the word is a little different, you will not find it. And it's also, you need to point to a particular location, folder, directory, or something. So it's very limited in when you want to find an information. The dream for many years, that's now is possible for not only Qlik Answers, but many other tools, is to be possible to have a conversation with those documents. Just like the Inside Advisor that reads and you can not talk, but you can ask questions to Inside Advisor based on your structured data. How about the unstructured? I have a folder with a lot of documents. So can I ask questions about those and actually get answers? Yes, like ChatGPT and all the other tools, competitors that came after show it is possible. And that's what we call the RAG. It's basically, it's a fancy word that basically, we use this AI to extract information from unstructured data, from documents. So that, it's the domain where Qlik Answer lives in. Now, in Qlik, when you think about language, we have then the structured data, and that's a source of a lot of confusion when we show answers. Can you read my Excel files? Well, if you have an Excel file, then you want the Inside Advisor that I showed before. That's for structured data. If you want unstructured data like PDF documents, and we'll show that in a few minutes, then you want Qlik Answers. That's for unstructured data. They are working on combining both into one tool, but I have no idea when that will be released. But now we have these two possibilities. And we can build applications and can they integrate together well, as we'll show in a demo app we have. So that's Qlik Answers. Let's dig in Qlik Answers. A few things that I like, and I was very skeptical about it at first. I said, no, it's not. When I saw a first presentation, yeah, in a PowerPoint is easy. But then when I started testing, I really tried to break it. And I actually wrote a few articles about it. I really tried to break it, and I said, oh, this is interesting. It can find the answer all the time? No. But when it cannot, it tells me I don't know, which is amazing. And so, Qlik Answers is plug and play. Actually, for us, Qlik Answers is terrible because we cannot sell any services. There's nothing we can do. I mean, it's plug and play. Requires zero scripting. It requires that's it. But I mean, so be it. I don't mind. Maybe Jeff minds. I don't mind. So it's plug and play, and it's a chatbot solution, and it's based on your knowledge base, and we'll discuss that in a minute. It's integrated with the Qlik platform, which is great. It's all in one tool. You don't need to buy another product, another tool, and then buy something else to connect both. It's all on the tool. It's less inclined to hallucinations because it only answers you something if it finds a reference on your knowledge base. If it doesn't find the answer, then it does not find. Like, I think some of you were in our happy hour, was last week? Last week. So we did a Qlik Answers demo using NFL data, and I asked a very obvious question. What is the meaning of the life, universe, and everything? Didn't know the answer. Then I fed into another document that I had, and I said, oh, it's Tom Brady, which is the obvious answer. So then he knew the answer. Of course, that was on my, but he told me the reference. If there was, people think that's not true. It is true, but people think it's not true. They can find the reference. A lot of things, it might sound just technical, but it's very important. The foundation, the large language model, let's say the AI language model, behind Qlik Answers is Anthropic Claude 3. It's not ChatGPT, it's not Llama 3, which is Meta, it's that. And why is that important? There is one particular reason why Qlik picked that one, because those other technologies, they use your data to train the underlying model. Claude does not. It's part of the whole purpose of the company when they started. So your data is not being used elsewhere to train other modules. So that's I think one of the biggest advantages. So that is Qlik Answers. Now Qlik Answers has two things. Just the chat assistant, without any training, without any knowledge, it will be useless. If you just create an assistant, and that's all you have, you cannot use the assistant because the assistant has no knowledge. The Claude 3 that runs behind it is just a tool to understand language, but it has no prior knowledge. I mean, the Claude 3 has, but not Qlik Answers that builds on top of it. Because Qlik Answers blocks any answer without a reference. So then you need the second piece, which is a knowledge base. So knowledge base is a location where you will list your unstructured data. You can upload them to the Qlik cloud platform, or you can have them elsewhere and just connect to them. So you have in a Google Drive, AWS S3 bucket, Azure, whatever it is, you can simply connect it. And then the only thing you have is the index versions, the index knowledge of that will be stored in a vector database. Maybe that's too technical, but that's what happens behind the scenes. And if I never told you that, you don't need to know it. It's all, it's all handled automatically. And so you have your knowledge base, and then on top of that, you have your assistant. You can have as many knowledge bases as you want. There's no limit to knowledge bases. The limit in license is how many pages are indexed per month. So what is interesting, you can create multiple knowledge bases, and you can secure them differently. Oh, there's this knowledge base, only this department can, or these people will have access to this knowledge base. And this other one, everybody will have this other one, this other department. And then you put all of them in one assistant. So you can have one assistant for the entire company. And then each person will have different answers because they have different access to the knowledge bases. Are you guys familiar with the Apple TV show called Severance? It's like your personal severance. If you're not, basically, there's this people, they work for this company, and they have this device installed or implanted into their brains. So when they get to work, their brain has no access to their memories outside of work. When they go outside of work, their brain has no access to the memories inside of work. It's like they're two different personalities. So, not considering all the ethical reasons why you should not do that, Qlik Answers is like that. Same assistant, different access of knowledge. Just to be clear, Qlik Answers is not installing anything in your brain. It's not required. Not even if you want. Not yet. Maybe. So, there's a lot of use cases. If you have unstructured data, then you want people to access and talk with that, then it's a valid use case. HR support, so you have your knowledge base of support in one place so people can ask questions there. Or any content you have, corporate content, policies, documents, etc. So there's a task of knowledge management. You need to do what is the current version of the documents. Contracts, laws, product assistance. So there's a lot of use cases.
Like ChatGPT, this is just a question that I have now. Can you use Qlik Answers to create stuff? Look, based on my HR support documents, create a more adequate rule for something, or you just answers
It can.
questions?
It can. So I did not think it was possible. I was very skeptical. And then I try, well, let me see if I can create an assistant and I can teach the assistant to program in R. So I took like 3 books of R, uploaded, and that's all I did in a knowledge base, use the knowledge base, and ask questions about it. It did it, and I asked, can you do a code that does this? And it did it. Those codes, example, were not in the book, but he knew the theory, so he wrote it. So then I created another knowledge base, and I uploaded books in Python, and I asked the same question with same assistant. It did. And I asked, can you convert this R code to Python, vice versa, and did all of that. Then I connected to I wrote an article about it. Actually, Qlik included my article in their newsletter this month. And then that I didn't publish yet, the other one. Then I took like a lot of medical books, created medical knowledge, and I asked, create a Python code that calculates the average of this, and then it did it. So yes, it's pretty good. But it's based on knowledge base. So the difference with ChatGPT is ChatGPT has, it's trained on the internet. Actually, there's a lot of lawsuits against
like
ChatGPT because they're training on people's data.
Like a private ChatGPT.
Yeah. Yes, sure.
Related to how you maintain and build a knowledge base. So, do we have to keep, if we want the knowledge base to be up to date, do we have to keep uploading information, or can you use a connection, for example, to another platform that we use to always store documentation? Can that be done, or have to be done manually?
That's a great question. It does not have to be manually. So you can connect to data sources for unstructured data, and there's plenty of data sources.
For example, Confluence is what I'm thinking.
Yes, and then you schedule a daily refreshes, and it takes only the delta, so it knows like, oh, this was different, and then re-index everything.
This is actually one of the use cases that we're planning to implement, because we use Confluence and to help the support team to figure out faster. So if you have a new case, we can capture that using Qlik automation and send an email to the support team and say, hey, we have this new case and we have this relationship. We have this information related to this, and looks like this kind of problem. So we can automate the whole thing.
So the issue here is we use Confluence to store a lot of documentation and policy processes, but it's not a very good search tool. So we're thinking of one of the things that we want to use AI is to somehow utilize it, but use AI search like ChatGPT or whatever you have here to do a very, one thing we found is just like you said, the right keyword.
Yes.
And let's
Right
say
term.
I'm not familiar with the business, I have a different keyword, right? PM could mean something to everybody else, to the outside world. PM is not prospect manager. So that's where I want to use normal English and then grab the definition I need. And we're having that time because Confluence doesn't have that. So we're
Yes.
thinking about, that's a good use case.
Yeah,
But then
it's a
if
perfect
you're
case.
using the manual, then that's not good. So that's why I'm asking, can you use a connection to the tool, to the environment, and then just,
Yes, yes, we can. Actually, we use internally for our support in documentation Confluence as well. So that's exactly the use case that we are currently testing. And yes, it was seems version 1 because it doesn't make sense to have to upload things manually all the time. Yeah, every time.
And also the workflow automation you talked at the beginning, if you had other data sources outside, maybe on governmental files that come out quarterly or whatever, you could trigger lambdas or whatever to pull them down into a shared location automatically, so your knowledge base will always be available.
SharePoint is another, so it actually does that too, because SharePoint has
Yep.
so many directories.
You can orchestrate that. Do those deltas like you talked about, because that's really most efficient. And the timing is important, right? You don't want to get out of date. Otherwise your answer is going to come back wrong.
Right, and it takes a lot of manpower to keep doing this.
Well, somebody who's on Costa does a lot of the stuff where we're pulling down like insurance information down to the web automatically. And that would take a lifetime for people to do because of the way they've structured it. And we basically just scale out, lambdas that go through and download all the files. So maybe 1,000 wide basically.
I'm thinking now about the tax rules in Brazil and Mexico. Maybe we can use Qlik Answers to help to understand that. It's so complex, so that would be a nice use case.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now that's the last part. How is it done? So internally, that's what happens. So it takes your unstructured data, and then it adds that to a knowledge base. When I say add to a knowledge base, it's a reference to the file. It's not necessarily the physical file. It's the reference to the file that will be part of that knowledge base. And then you do a task called indexing. Indexing is, so having a file in a knowledge base is like buying a book and not reading. It doesn't make you smarter. Actually, a lot of my friends, when I tell them that, really? So you have to buy the book and read it. So indexing is actually the reading of the book. So it breaks down the text into chunks of text, and then adds that to a vector database. Then on the other side, when people ask a question, then it does takes that question, does the same, split in chunks, embed it, and then insert in the vector database. And it uses large language model to understand the actual language. You don't need to use specific words. You just use normal language, and you understand what you mean. And then it gets the answer back. So that's the...
How many steps do they have to do on this? A lot of steps here, but what do they actually do?
The bottom one. So we don't have to do anything. Qlik does all in the back end. So that's why we say it's plug and play. So before this, we've implemented this like manually using different technologies. It's a lot of work. So that's one of the great advantages is like the time to production is very, very short. And I have situations like, I have a demo for, I'm not mentioning any city, this city school district. Can you do something about it? I have like these documents. Oh, right, when is that? Oh, in 30 minutes. And it's possible because you reference those files, index, create a system with one button, create a system, and you're done. So that's just the first part. And then let's have a little break so you can have coffee, drinks, food, and then we'll go to the second part where we actually will show in the Qlik platform. Absolutely, I love questions.
Good.
You're talking about Qlik Answers, so I love questions.
Yes.
So this is all great, right? Do you have a CAN report that will show what are the most up-to-date, being loaded, how well the tool is doing. Because obviously people use it and they can have feedback, thumbs up, thumbs down. But do you have an automatic bill report to show your customer about?
I have something actually better than that.
That's a great lead-in.
They have a monitoring app. Let me log back in.
All monitoring apps, so different apps.
I love and hate multi-factor authentication.
Qlik just released this, by the way, and this comes free. The monitoring of your knowledge base, your answers.
Which is I sort of
You need to have that, otherwise.
yeah, well, otherwise, that's why it's like, you show them all this, but how do I know you do a good job? What is agreement with a customer? I mean,
Well, this is so new, I literally just saw it before we did lunch. So that's how fresh it is in my mind.
Actually, this was released today, so I have to install this app. So this is a monitoring app for Qlik Answers. So I know, oh, I'm top one. Great. Hope this is good. It's a good thing. So all of the assistant names, where they save, who owns them, how many questions were asked. So we have all of that detail. So we can also analyze knowledge base. So it's a big application. What I like the most is this, question detail. So, and if I filter my name, then I can see all the questions that I made, the answers given, the reference to the answer, when that happened. So you actually see what people are asking. No privacy for the admin. So.
worry about too is, what if people, so I use it a lot, but I like to, let's say, sometime when I leave it, can a user do that? Because what if I don't want to know what I asked? Can the user, does the user have control of that? But this need to be, I think, known to people that are using it.
Yeah, I mean this monitoring app. If you wanna create different apps per domain, that's fine too. So the admins, this is one that I have for the entire infrastructure. But if you want to create one per school and one for HR,
Use section access.
or you can use section access. So there's ways we can make it. The admin will only see what the admin was supposed to see. Yeah, because then everything else will be Qlik. Then we can simply use Qlik. Yeah. Actually, pretty simple. It's just like section access, for example.
Binary load this one and do section access and the other ones.
So we'll let's have a break. Then we'll discuss this after the break. Actually, then actually we'll stop the break by talking to this thing here. I'm not going to say this name because otherwise we'll wake up. This little thing here, and then Mark will explain.
You don't want to think that you're curious now.
Mark Costa will present something, but before he does it, let me show this little thing here. So this is, I'll say the name. So this is that device with the letter A that is connected and it's using my personal security, so it only has the access that I have. And I can, and right now I just set up to do a slideshow on some of my charts that I've selected. So then I'm like working, I can like look at the charts, and if I notice like some difference or whatever, then I can take action and actually refresh as my application refreshes, so it updates automatically. It's not just an image, it's actually the chart in specific apps. But I can ask questions. So we'll demo cardiology application. This is real data, but it's for study, so there's no patient data here, so we're not breaking any laws, just to be clear. So let me try something like, Alexa, show me the number of participants by sex.
Okay, give me a moment.
Now it's connecting to our Qlik Cloud through the tool that Mark Costa will demonstrate. And it's processing my question, and it's generating.
Some insights I have created based upon your data set. The count of participants is 4,434. The largest sex, women, is 21.9% larger than the second largest sex, men. Women has the largest number of participants at 2,490. Men has the lowest number of...
Okay, then we'll keep in explaining.
Tell the whole thing.
But yeah, so you explain that will give me the insights, and it it generates a chart, and I can ask all the questions, and it'll basically do the same. So I can interact with my application through, this is one example. It's not the only example, but through the APIs, basically you can do anything. The engine behind it is what I displayed before, the Insight Advisor, which Mark Costa will now demonstrate.
And even if you have multiple tenants, that means multiple Qlik Cloud connections and servers, you can integrate in one single hub. So if you ask a question, you look where is it, and you give the answer. All right. So again, this is just using Qlik. What is that? Clicking API. So Qlik Cloud API is not like Qlik Sense API that's very close to your server. You need a special access. So Qlik Cloud, it's easier to use and integrate with other stuff. Like AutoML, you can consume externally, the Inside Advisor as well. So multiple things. Okay. So let's say this. So you pick any sheet here, and then you see this Inside Advisor button here. So if you click here, you can just ask a question like we did with Alexa, or you can type stuff. So let me get some questions I have here. I write down here. And I just type here, and let's try here. So what's the total number of patients? So click the Inside Advisor, you look your data set in this application only, and you look for things that looks like what you're asking. So in this case, we have a master measure. So you see it gets the question you did and start doing the components of the sentence. So what is and then the total number of patients, he put the master measure. So he found the master measure patients, and then it create a chart. If you go here, you see multiple charts with different suggestions, but your main question, the answer what you're looking for is this here. You can check here, like the charts, what's the master measure, use it, and you can also, you can include that to a sheet. So if you're designing a new sheet and you just, okay, what you suggest for me? So you can click here and have that integrated in your sheet. So okay, nice. So what about how many patients are overweight? So take this and add here, and let's try again. So now again, how many patients? He understands it's the master measure patients. And the overweight, he found a filter with the overweight value. So he's just adding the description, the BMI description here. So if I click on the chart, I can see the set expression BMI description equals overweight. And then if I click here, I can also see the other values. Oh, actually, when I said overweight, I mean overweight and obese. So then I can see the total here. Or you can uncheck, and you see the total number of patients. Well, let's say I don't want every time to say overweight and obese. So every time I say this, I want Qlik to include that. So you can create a term. So if you go to Qlik Cloud, you see two new things here. It's the logical model and the vocabulary. Those are the two things that you can do to enrich the Inside Advisor suggestions. Is how you can feed with information that he's not capable to figure out itself. So I go here, vocabulary, and I'm going to create a new term. Okay. It looks different already. All right, so I'll say overweight. Okay. And that means for me, BMI description, the conditions is in, and then I can select the values. Okay. So I'm going to create. So I'm creating a term, and I'm associating this term with this dimension, and it should include these two values. Okay, let's create. So now, and I populate this application with this new term, and you can create multiple ones. So now if I go back there, And it can be any sheet. Go here, and I'll do the same question. Copy, paste here. And then now, you see, I use the same term, but now it understands when I say this, it includes the overweight and obese. So it includes automatically those two terms. And again, we can go here, okay, I'm just looking for this one now, so it's up to the user. So let's see what else we can do. And then we can explore everything. So what's the average BMI of patients with diabetes? So any questions you can do here, it will start creating for you charts. All right? So starting adding the measures, so the average of BMI. So we already have a filter called BMI, and it did the average for us. So if you click on the chart, you see the average here. You can actually change it to something else if you're not looking for average. And you see the field here that we have, and the charts. And it also did some insights here where you can read with natural language. And let's say now, okay, good. So this is good. Let me pick that question again. This previous one. And let's say I'm in my hub. So I'm just in the application here. I just in my Qlik Cloud. And here you have also Inside Advisor. So if I go here, so I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know anything. I don't know the apps. But you can do the question here. So let's see what's going to happen. I think you'll find the Framingham app, Igor.
Mark, can you use voice as well?
Yes. Don't you see here? You're just asking me. It's trying to trick me.
For the vocabulary that you build, is that associated with a specific user, or is that?
It's for the entire application. Yes. Yes. So it doesn't know where to look for it. It kind of thinks it's based on this Framingham Heart Studio application. It's another application, but it doesn't know perfectly where to look for this. So we can share this to the hub, not just for this application here. So to do that, we just go here, show details, and there's this gear button. And then we can check here Inside Advisor in Hub. So we click here. Good. So now if I try the same question again, let's try again. You should find it. Come on. Let me clear this. Let me try again. Okay, now it found it. So the count of patients is this, with the description include overweight and obese. So it got the same thing. And I think we have, let me see here. Whoop. I know it can generate a chart. So if you ask for suggestion, it can start creating charts for you. And you have a similar experience of what you have in the application, but here. Same thing will happen here now. If you do the same question, correct me if I'm wrong, if we do now the same question, is going to show the same thing?
Yes.
Can you try? Because we haven't tested. So let's see. Yeah, we haven't tested. I'm nervous now.
So Mark, when you went through, you checked off that box at the top saying share with the hub. That was for that application, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
Basically, it's whatever applications you choose.
Correct. Yes. It's not.
That section access comes along with you.
Yes. So it will check all your access and you give you the answer that you have access to.
Okay, so let's try Alexa, ask IPC Global. I need to reactivate
How can
this
I
case.
assist you today?
Alexa, how many patients are obese?
Okay, give me a moment.
And you should find those two, obese and overweight and obese. I actually said obese, so you find obese.
Word list where word includes patient and obese.
I said obese. I should say overweight.
Patient, not associated. 3 of 3.
Wait, let's see.
How
Alexa,
can I?
how many patients are overweight?
Okay, give me a moment. Word list where word includes patient and overweight. Overweight. Patient, not associated. 3 of 3.
Interesting.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I think it does.
How can I assist you today?
There's 5 meters or
Here are
so
your charts.
refresh to refresh the AWS Alexa.
Yes. Okay. So then you can also
Don't blame
create.
me. Your department developed.
Yes. That's true. That's true.
It's not my fault.
And then this goes so far, so you can even if you're aware about common questions, you can start typing the questions here. So you can just pick regular ones. So just add some here. Not regular. Okay, add. Let me pick another one. Add question. Okay. Add. So you can add multiple ones. So next time you go here to your application and start playing around and get anyone here. So if I go to Inside Advisor, and when you click it, I think we tried in Portuguese as well, right?
Yes. It works.
Why is it taking so long? Let me go to another. Let me try the same here just in case. Okay. Then you see example of questions, and then when you click it, you see the answers. The same thing here in the hub. So sorry, I was too fast. So you can see here. So what's the number of patients per cholesterol range?
Can you let me show something? So see that graph, and on the side has insights found, and those are the text.
Yes.
When I ask Alexa, it shows the graphs and it reads those insight founds. That's how
Yes.
it reads it. Yeah.
And I think this is the same when you we can do the key driver analysis here. Okay. And then if I go here again, and if I click here, it should show example questions.
You need to open the app first on that app.
Do what?
Click apps and open the app.
Okay. Oh, yours is different. Okay. Yes. It's funny, mine is different from yours.
I have more access.
Because you have more access. Because when I do it, exactly show the questions.
Oh, it's because I have more
questions.
apps. I have more apps with that.
Oh, it's not finding it. What's going on? Refreshing?
It takes a few minutes to refresh to
Stop saying that.
It's true. It's in the documentation.
Yeah, yours is different. Come on, man. Apps. Maybe you have multiple.
Yeah, it's because I have multiple apps. That's why.
Cardiology disk.
You have only one app, then so that's why it shows directly.
I see. Questions. Yeah, it's not showing for me. Yeah, it's not refreshing. Okay.
Oh.
Good. But we're supposed to see the questions here that we type here. And there's a lot here. Like if we can talk about this for more than 5 hours probably.
Can you
Only about the vocabulary, the custom analysis, the synonyms. It's hard to say that.
can you go back there to the site advisor? I think there's something in the app.
This one.
In the app.
In just a moment. And about the
Oh,
logical model. Logical model is where you do a lot of the advanced stuff, where you structure your fields, create packages, hierarchies, behaviors, the calendars. So everything about the structure is not in terms of data itself, because the data, the structure of the data is inside the data model viewer. So this is about the value of each one of those fields, what they mean, if they're supposed to be considered as a term or not. So you can control the visibility by inside advisor in these fields right here. So most of the fields I have hidden, and some of the important ones, I think we just have one fact table here. So those are the ones that I make visible. And then you organize in many different ways here. But this is a lot of stuff to cover here. So you're saying, Igor?
Go back to the app, inside advisor.
Okay.
So another way, you can also go to like create an analysis, for example, and then you can start without using the voice. You can go, let's say you want to do pick anything like KPI is easy, but so be it.
That's why I'm doing.
Yeah, pick any field. So it gives you need one measure, like patience is one, for example. Then you'll create a KPI for you. But that one is easy. Let's pick another one. So cancel that one.
You can pre-create that as well, right? Yeah. The suggestions for this.
Then you can add that chart to your application. So let's cancel that instead of KPI. Let's do another one. Like
correlation,
why not,
maybe?
No. Let's do clustering.
Which one?
Clustering. Go down, down, down.
Okay.
There we go. K-means. So it tells you need two measures, one dimension. So pick like systolic blood pressure. The last one there is good.
This?
Yeah, that one is good. And maybe cholesterol, total cholesterol, stot cholesterol, and try CH.
Sorry, CH.
Funny, where's cholesterol? HDL, just to show an example, yeah.
HDLC?
And then pick one dimension.
BMI maybe? No. Yeah, maybe.
Sex, gender, yeah. Just to show it doesn't.
It doesn't allow me. Why? No suggestions available. Good.
Funny. Anyway, this usually it will build you the chart for you based on that analysis.
Oh, okay. Let's try another thing. 1 second.
Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah.
That's
I think this is part of the key drivers.
Yeah.
It could be associated to this. Okay. You want to try again, just in case? The Alexa?
Okay, let's see. Alexa? What is the question? Oh. How many patients are overweight?
Okay, give me a moment. Sorry, that query did not get any results. Please rephrase your question.
Alexa, how many patients are overweight?
Okay, give me a moment. Word list where word includes patient and overweight, overweight, patient, not associated, 3 of 3.
It's funny, something's off.
How can I assist you today? Here are your charts.
Okay. I think that's it. That's it about Inside Advisor.
Great. Now let's see the app. So I'll show you Qlik Answers, but before I want to show you a few things. So there's, we call like a journey into your data maturity level. And once you start with the whole analytics world, you have your data. The first thing you do is basically, the first thing you want to do is be able to describe the data you have, which is a great thing. I mean, a lot of companies, people, places, they don't even know how to describe the data. How many, what is the average days? What is the sum of that? How many sales I had in last month? A lot of they don't have an accurate way to do it. So descriptive is like your first step in the journey. But it's basically just describing the data. Basically, you're looking at the past, what happened in the past. Good. Now, how about what might happen in the future? So then we go to the next step, which is the predictive. So this basically is, this is a table that shows the predictions for every single patient I have, if they will develop in the span of 5 years, if developer CVD, cardiovascular disease. So basically predicting the ones that are likely to develop that and the ones that are likely not with the actual probability. So that's great. I know the patients will develop that, and the patients who are likely, I mean, we never know for sure because they can change their habits. A lot of things can happen. Maybe they die before, they never develop cardiovascular disease, we never know. But if I only know the prediction, it doesn't help me a lot, much. And this is the AutoML piece. Then I go to the next level on my journey, which is the diagnostic. I know what the model tells me that is likely to happen, but now I also know why. So these are the main features that help the model to run the predictions. So like the first one, how many hospitalizations the patient had for myocardial infarction. And age is number 2. I'm looking at this green chart. And time, I don't remember what time. Time to something, I don't remember what time means, and the other features. Great. But this is for the whole module. And I don't even know what they mean. I know it is important, but I don't know how much. Like hospitalization. More hospitalization increase the chances or decrease the chances? I don't know. How will I use this information? So this is like one, for example, advantage that AutoML has compared to AWS SageMaker. AWS SageMaker gives you this, but it does not give you that importance information by row. Qlik AutoML gives you that by row. For every single row, I know the importance. So for that patient, Gaspari, Scalia, I know what is important. This, and I know the direction. The negative values, meaning an increase of that value decreases your chances of developing that. On a positive values, like an increase of the value increases your chance of developing that. So then I can select one particular patient, and I know is exactly what is most important and in what direction. So then I have an idea, what can I do? So that's diagnostic. It's another level in the journey. But then we can get another level, which is prescriptive. Okay, now what do I do with that information? So this is just one example of things we can do. This is not Qlik Answers. This is Qlik Connected. So one of the things I show is like the integration, one of the 3 pieces of AI capabilities in Qlik. One of those are integration. We can integrate Qlik with other technologies. So we integrate in Qlik here with AWS Bedrock. And so it's kind of a ChatGPT-ish. It's not exactly that, but just to simplify the concept, the AWS Amazon offers. I have a lot of examples doing that, connecting to ChatGPT. It's basically the same kind of technology on the UI. So I can come here and I can so I have a question for the patient select, give ways to avoid heart problems and cardiovascular disease. So let me select, well, let's see, this kind of patient, male diabetic with high cholesterol, that they smoke, they do everything wrong. And I think that's normal weight, and they have a college degree. I don't know why it's that important. We'll see. So now it's real time connecting to Bedrock, and then it gives me like an answer. Here are some of the things, and then it gives like summary, and then it gives me like an answer. Great, and I can change the selections. Let's say the person stops smoking, so I make selections and it automatically recalculates that. Real time, connecting to, in this case it's AWS Bedrock, but it could be ChatGPT. We've done, actually, this is the second example I did with AWS Bedrock. We do a lot of ChatGPT just because it's easy to explain to people. This ChatGPT, everybody knows what ChatGPT is. But Bedrock, it's slightly faster to process, like 3 seconds, 4 seconds faster. So I think it would be a wise option to demo. But anyway, they both work the same way. I'm happy to show the code. It's only Y, no reload scripting necessary. So that is another possibility, the things we can do. Now let me remove my selections. Let me go to the next one. Now I can also run simulations. This is another AutoML situation. I don't have anything here because I need to make selections. So AutoML, I showed that table before, prediction patient they'll develop cardiovascular disease or not. How about we make a few changes and see what the model tells us. I saved the bookmark, so I don't need to pick everything.
So just a little context to this. So we already have the model trained, and it's deployed,
yes,
right? And we're just consuming that through API, correct?
Yes, that's correct. So we have the AutoML, the machine learning model, trained, deployed, is in production. Now I'm just sending information in. I can send a bunch of data, or I can do like one by one. In this case, I have this patient. That patient has almost 80% chance of developing cardiovascular disease. So let's say that patient...
Is this Gus?
No, that'll be like 89. So let's say that patient, there's a few variables I cannot change. Like I cannot change,
age is wrong,
like the age, like those kind of things. You can only change your age 1 year per year. So let's not change that. But let's say we can drop the blood pressure to more normal levels. And then we can see real time recalculating. And let's say we reduce the BMI a little bit, and cholesterol, let's put back to normal levels, and a little bit more, under 200, and then you stop smoking. Great, you save. So we can do like real time things like that. And this, I'm showing a healthcare example. Of course, this is statistics. Statistics is never 100%. There's always a margin of error. And again, this person might die before, so he never developed and not necessarily saved. But it's based on that the train model was validated and is deployed because of validated and it's BU. So we can do, there's another option we can do.
Every time we're changing the parameters, is sending a request?
Yes.
Returning?
Yeah.
And, okay.
If I change, I'm smoking again, then recalculates real time. Stop smoking. Then recalculates
you can
real
do
time.
that by the day, like you don't smoke during the day, smoke at night.
If it was a
Fine.
variable,
Yeah.
it's not.
I saved the day, so.
Don't try to hack the system. And then we have the Qlik Answers. So that's where I can ask questions to my unstructured data. So Qlik Answers comes with an assistant. So I can build an assistant. So let me show my assistant. So let me open in a different tab. So that's my assistant. So I can come here and see my assistant. I can interact as an end user directly in the assistant. And I set up a few default questions, so like suggested questions that I can use it or not. I can put that on a website directly or inside a Qlik app. So that's what I'm doing now. So there's an object and it's inside my Qlik app. So let me try a few questions. So we were talking about cardiovascular disease. So let me ask, what is, let me call CVG, because that's how we're calling. So now it's going to my knowledge base, and then it says CVG stands for cardiovascular disease, which refers to a group of disorders affecting the heart and blood vessels, blah, 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 and actually gives me the answer. Great. How do I know it's not a hallucination? How do I know this is actually true? Well, you have the source. Qlik Answers will only give you an answer if it finds a source. So I can come here, view source. That's the name of the document. That's the first reference of the document. It gives you like where you find inside the document. It's an HTML file, and if you want, you can actually download the file to take a look at it. Of course, considering you have the access to do so.
And if you like or dislike, you provide a feedback for Qlik
Yeah.
Answers, correct?
We got to that. So, great, I know what it is. How can I prevent it? How to prevent CVG, cardiovascular disease.
Stop smoking.
That's one of the items. Stop smoking and physical inactivity, overweight and obesity, other factors like excessive alcohol consumption, gas,
It's you, man. It's
high
you.
blood pressure.
Don't be Gus, man.
And then he gave me like 2 sources. Let me try something else, like how to calculate
Bye-bye.
the risk of CVG. And again, it has, because I fed with medical papers about the cardiology, about the Framingham study. That's why I call the Framingham papers. So it gives me how we can calculate the risk. Now, let me try a question that I do not have a reference to it, like, what is the association between CVG and cancer? So it's trying to find and say, I'm sorry, I don't have any information to answer that question. Why it does, Claude 3 has it, but it's not part of my knowledge base. So then I can say, well, I don't like this answer. So I can give a thumbs down. And I can say, well, this was unhelpful. And I can answer additional feedback. Well, I really need this information. And sometimes it's like, sometimes you even got the answer, but you don't agree. Because maybe, oh, this document is like an older version or something is inaccurate or something. So it can give a feedback. And one of the ways, so in the monitoring app, we can see that another way, the admin of that assistant can come here and review the answers. And so, oh, there's a dislike here. Let me see what happened. And then it has the answer. There was the question, the answer, and the comment. And then I come, okay, he really needs that information. So let me see if I can help. So my assistant, I call it the Framingham papers because it's based on the Framingham study, the biggest longitudinal medical study in the history of medicine, happened right here in Framingham. They started in the 1960s and it's still going, they're still collecting data from the grandchildren of the first initial patients. It's an amazing study. So I loaded, so that's my knowledge base. Let me take a look at that knowledge base. So let me open. That's the knowledge base. So it's only 18 papers, total of 220 pages. Not a lot, but it was pretty good, the information I could get. Now, let me go back. That's the knowledge base. Basically, these are the documents that I associated with this. By the way, as in the previous question, if I want to add more files, one of the options is through a data connection. Now let me go back to my assistant. I want to add, I have another knowledge base that I can attach to this. So let me add a knowledge base. And I'm creating this one. It's not, I think I still need to add more books, but it's called medical knowledge base. And these are basically some books from people, medical students use, and protocols, etc. So I attach now I have these 2 knowledge bases. So I can come back to Qlik Answers and I can try that again. Same question. What is the association between CVG and cancer? Now it has 2 knowledge bases to look for and, oh, come on.
Refresh maybe?
No, it shouldn't be.
That happened to me.
What is the association?
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
No, this is a different tool, guys. Issue between cardiovascular disease and cancer. Maybe there's a typo or something. Oh, come on. Cardiovascular disease and cancer. Did I edit? Okay. Let me try that. Let me try refresh. Okay. What is the association between cardiovascular disease and cancer? Funny. Let me try. That's weird. Let me try the same in the assistant. I should
Is that
copy.
the right knowledge base?
Oh yeah, it is. I can. Yeah, it is the right knowledge base. I don't know why. Actually, I can prove it. I asked this question before when I was testing. I think. What is associated between cholesterol? Oh, it's cholesterol. I asked the wrong question. It's not a cardiovascular disease and cancer. Actually, maybe I don't have that. It's cholesterol. Oh, see, same thing. They ruined the demo, but anyway, now it finds. But believe me, without the medical, it doesn't know. Now it found. Funny, and then it gives me one source, and then I can ask, what other effects does cholesterol have? And then I'll find other sources from the medical knowledge base.
Does it work like ChatGPT, you making questions on top of previous questions? It understands the context of the whole chat that you're doing?
Yes, like, let me pick, explain the second bullet point, which is, oh, come on. Explain the elevated cholesterol you mentioned before. Okay, one thing about Qlik Answers, because for security reasons, it doesn't, you have to provide the knowledge that it has. So sometimes there's a little terminology that it doesn't know, so you have to provide maybe a prompt, ask a little different. So that's one thing, but it's for a good purpose, so it doesn't hallucinate.
Is there like, if you have a mixed knowledge base like this, but you have different, one knowledge base with different ones associated, but you have some users that are not allowed to see one of them?
Then you only, yeah, it only, if I have another user without the access to the medical knowledge base, they will not have access to those answers, yeah.
So if you try to make the same questions, you'll not have the answer.
Now, just to prove I'm not lying, let me remove the medical knowledge base.
I will not do it.
Contradicted answers.
They'll show you both sources, so you make your, like, they'll show you the sources.
And what about document has flowcharts? Flowcharts, because a lot of times we need to document for process purpose. Does it understand, let's say I said I wanted to see life cycle of prospect, and I want to say when it was, we need to identify what's the next stage, because it's all in flowchart. Does it know how to read that?
So in that case, not the chart, it reads text, but in that case, you might want a document that explains your flow chart.
I see, had to be in order, not. Like
Yeah, what are the stages, and then we'll be able to. But it cannot read the images; it read the texts.
Got it.
Yeah.
We talked about before, can't read like the tabular data yet, right? That's inside advisor, that's more of that structured data. So that's I'm assuming that type of logic will be also
A lot of times it's, for us, it's very easy to see yes or no, that's why we do that. Because we're just not writing, it's actually confusing. That's the whole point, we write that. I just want to give it.
Now, just prove I was not lying. I removed the medical knowledge. And then I ask, what is the association between cholesterol and cancer? Just because I asked the wrong condition. Because without the medical knowledge, oh, come on. It's answered it shouldn't. Between cholesterol and cancer. Yeah, it's a reference. It's referencing the old thing. Yeah. Between what is associated between? Yeah. Anyway,
You
maybe
shouldn't lie.
I was not lying.
You shouldn't lie.
So that's what we have today. Questions. Hope you guys enjoy it.
This is great.
I love the questions. Yeah, thank you. And again, thanks for hosting us. And there's still a lot of food and drinks.
Questions?
So where will this presentation and all the information be available? On the meetup site?
Yeah, so we're recording. So we need to, because we have two different recordings. One the screen, one the everything else. So we have to
Have
edit,
to put together.
and then we'll I think you all registered to the Meetup group. So you'll receive a notification there when it's available.
You can send a message to the group. So with the link, I think by Monday we'll have that set.
No promise.
Yeah, okay. I didn't say. Yeah,
His family hates him, so he can work during the
Yeah.
weekend.
even the dog.
He doesn't have a dog.
Does he have a hyena?
No, I'm the one with the hyena.
Yes.
I don't have it anymore. I don't
have
have
to kill
Fluffy
it.
anymore.
We have to
Fluffy's
kill
gone.
it.
Wants to talk about his animals. I know.
Yes.
He wants to talk about his animals.
You wanna-
Oh yeah,
you wanna
Jeff
talk about
lives
the
in
chicken
a
parade?
farm. He has goats
Chicken
and
parade.
actually and chicken. What else you have?
Goats, chickens, llamas, horses,
Yeah, yeah.
cows. They were sometimes.
So he was talking about chicken parade one day during the lunch. What kind of parade? Was a chicken stuff? Yes,
The chicken show, yeah.
Yeah, chicken show. And it was chicken show.
Chicken show.
See, I heard chicken show, really? And then was like, the
And he
conversation was
travels.
going, it was stuck there. Is chicken show? Come on.
Oh, I'm sorry, Anna. Yes.
It's totally fine. Just curious, so if a customer purchases like whichever product we're talking, Qlik Answers, right? You had mentioned earlier Qlik Connected. So in my mind, is it that Qlik Answers and Qlik Connected connects to AWS Bedrock? And is that true? Can you just walk me through that again?
So I can show the bedrock behind the scenes if you guys want to see.
Show the Bedrock. It's more like if I'm a customer and I purchase that product, does it come with the Bedrock?
Oh no, the bedrock it's Amazon product.
Right.
So because I select, so I need to have an AWS account, and I need to subscribe to that. Basically, Bedrock they'll charge me. Bedrock specifically, they'll charge me based on consumption, just like all of these tools, like ChatGPT the same. If you want to use the connection ChatGPT, then I need to subscribe to the service. And ChatGPT, last time I checked, was 2 cents per 1,000 tokens, which is roughly the same as AWS charges. And I think through Hugging Face, it's for large implementation. I use Hugging Face because I pay $20 a month and I use it a lot. There's one thing that we were doing internally. We were processing all of the executive orders from presidents. Since, I mean, the ones we have available in the Federal Registry, I think is from Clinton. And so we want to, so I want to do like sentiment analysis, extract information, summarization. This was before Qlik Answers, before this. So I ran an estimate. We have maybe 10,000 documents. I ran an estimate how much will cost to do that using ChatGPT. Was something like $11,000. We didn't run it. Just ran it. I run like 50 a sample, small sample, then extrapolate from that. And then I subscribe to Hugging Face, which is I'm a big fan. It's kind of the GitHub for language, AI and natural language processing. And because it's a monthly subscription based, I pay $20.
Yeah, the Bedrock example was just how can we integrate Qlik
It's just one example.
with other technologies. So if you have Bedrock or any other tool, you can integrate through the APIs.
So basically let me show, a bit technical, but it'll be quick, I promise. So I have all of these analytic sources. So this advanced analytics basically allows me to connect to any things that are not listed here. But things in the AWS, Amazon, like the Bedrock, we have multiple options for the Bedrock. Azure, machine learning, OpenAI, so we can connect to the ChatGPT, mother company, Databricks, DataRobot, Hugging Face, Meta AI, Qlik AutoML, of course. So we have these options. So basically what I did was I created a connection to Bedrock, and then in my UI, I close it. Oh, it's not closed. No, it's here. Let me show. Let me see. I think I have.
That one.
Yeah, I have a copy of that. Oh, I think I have a personal copy of that. That's the one. So basically, let me find the object. Response. That's the one. And it's hidden. Let me remove the condition. And let me make a few selections just so it doesn't take too much to process. Okay. It's processing real time here. Once it's finished, I can access the properties. Let me cancel. Cancel? Oh, maybe I cannot cancel. But I'll show you the properties real quick. So basically, it's accessing one of these connections, and I pass in the parameters. There we go. Properties. And so basically, I'm accessing, so that's my Bedrock connection, and then this is my data. It's all dynamic, so based on my selection, this is my data, and then it will provide me the answer. Just an JSON input, but maybe too technical. But I mean, once I did this the first time, I copy and paste. Every time I have to implement a copy and paste and just update a list of fields that I want to pass as an input to that. But uses the connection that I have built.
Done. Where do you point to the connection you have created? Do you pass the name of the connection?
Yes, it's one of our connection name.
That takes care of the authentication.
It takes care of the authentication. Yeah. More questions?
Yeah, and one thing regarding your question, you can purchase Qlik Cloud, so you need the subscription. But let's say I'm just looking for AutoML, and I need something more than the basic package. I think you can just purchase, increase the Qlik AutoML, right? Mm-hmm. We have this option, correct? Mm-hmm. I know for some of the services you can improve, like, I need more features of that product, more capabilities, so you can purchase those just for that one. But you need the base Qlik Cloud subscription. Yes.
Yeah, like the tabular reporting. I think the default, Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong, I think the default is 1,000 reports per month. 1,000. But let's say, I need 2,000, and you can purchase just that. So it's very flexible the way they're selling these things.
So when we integrate the assistant into the apps, right? So we have like multiple apps. So instead of maintaining multiple knowledge bases, is there any way like we can conditionally connect to one single knowledge base for each app? Or do we have to maintain like different knowledge bases for each application depending on their business logic?
Oh no, you create one app. When you create one knowledge base, you can use You don't use a knowledge base inside an app. You use inside an assistant. You can use the same knowledge base in as many assistants as you like.
So
Is
in
it?
that case, like the section access applies automatically because one app I don't want to show some information.
It's not section access for the answers because it's unstructured data. Section access links to your structured data. So the security is different.
Yes.
You will associate on the admin.
The assistant is not part of one application. It's outside the Qlik application. He was just showing that you can also consume and call the assistant from a Qlik Sense application, but it's not related.
Yeah, so let's say you put it, so there's this concept of space is like a folder directory where you save stream, but they're in Qlik View, so stream is Qlik Sense. So let me find my medical, so I create a medical research one. So that's a stream and I put it, my knowledge base in here. So I can come and I can manage my users by username, by user group, by whatever rules I want to apply. So only the people, like if he logins with his user and he has access to their assistant, but he does not have access to the medical books, so his experience will be different than mine. And you secure that through Spaces, which is amazing. This is like, I think this is the great thing about Answers, because you can actually have a true knowledge management for unstructured data. And it's all in the Qlik platform. So you need to purchase like a specific security product to handle that. It's all in here. And you can do run automations. I mean, there's automation. You can create security rules, etc. Let's say every time this happens, I'll do this or that. I mean, so there's automation. We haven't shown because it's not part of the AI effort, but it's basically it's like a workflow. So you put like basically you put boxes, you connect boxes, and tasks that will happen based on conditions you set up.
Let's say I have a knowledge base for students. So I have all the campus rules and all the stuff.
Yeah, policies and things like calendar or whatever, yeah.
And if I have a website, my school website, can I call the assistant from my website? It's impossible to integrate those two things?
You can integrate the assist. So
it's like a
actually, yes. There are two questions actually in your question. The object you can integrate, you can put it in your website, just like I put it in the application. The problem is Answers right now, and actually this is a good thing because of consumption. Answers right now, in order to access, because of security, you need to have a user in Qlik. It cannot be anonymous. So the students, they'll have to have an account in Qlik, which is great because we don't want to give that. But if you want to do like, oh, I want to do something for everybody, I'll consider that decision because all of these services you pay by consumption. So if everybody started, there was an example, it happened in Brazil, of course. I can make that joke because I'm from Brazil. This bank, they implemented like this chatbot assistant. And people knew they had, because they advertised that, oh, you have the ChatGPT for our customers, right when the ChatGPT was released. So they have that functionality. And people do not want to pay for ChatGPT Plus, like they're used, not customers of the bank. It was on the main page. Like, how can I open an account? Things like that. So people will use, and they came, oh, how can I write this in Python? 0% related to the bank. And so the bank was paying for your ChatGPT subscription. So you know that to happen. So it's you have to have a user. I don't know if they have, it's in the roadmap to release anonymous user. I will be very cautious about it because you need to control who access.
Auth authentication and using that.
Yeah.
I think it's possible.
But you have to have a user.
Not with
you have to
auth. You can fake that you're using. Call
Logan. Let's see.
Well, you can do that with Qlik, but again, like the Igor point is, you pay for that consumption.
Yes.
So the anonymous connection is going to be.
Yeah.
And the reason why all these companies like ChatGPT, OpenAI, and AWS, and Meta, and Anthropic, they all charge by consumption is because the CPU memory, like the hardware consumption of this behind the scene is massive. Is massive.
Microsoft's trying to open up Thermite Island, is that right? They're gonna go
Yeah.
power.
They entered into an agreement directly with the only, one reactor is bad, as we know. The other reactor has been dormant, and now they're gonna fire it back up exclusively to provide power, and basically Microsoft's whole AI business because of all of the consumption that is required.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane. Great, great.
Great. Again, thanks for hosting us. Actually,
Thank you very much.
I'm a lot of familiar faces. I miss you guys, truly.
He talks about you.
Not
every
you,
day.
Gus.
Almost every day.
Easy target.
Oh, I have a lot of credit. I mean.